I think that when we talk about data in this context, and we talk about what the NSA is collecting, what we're really talking about is something called metadata.
I take my cue from a former general counsel of the NSA, Stuart Baker, who said on this question, metadata absolutely tells you everything about somebody's life. If you have enough metadata, you don't really need content. It's sort of embarrassing how predictable we are as human beings.
So let's say that you make a phone call one night, you call up a suicide hotline, for example. You're feeling down, you call that hotline, and then a few hours later maybe you call a friend, a few hours later you call a doctor, you send an email, and so on and so forth. Now, the contents of those calls and those emails are not necessarily being collected. They could be if you were targeted by surveillance, but through these mass surveillance collection program or mass data collection programs, that's not what's being collected. What's being collected is the time of the call, the place that you called, and so sometimes in events like that, those different pieces of metadata can be linked together to profile someone.
David's description of what you can do with metadata, and quoting a mutual friend, Stuart Baker, is absolutely correct. Okay? We kill people based on metadata. But that's not what we do with this metadata.
Thankfully.
Wow, I was working up a sweat there for a second.
Metadata may be used for a criminal investigation. Could be very much legitimate use. If you get the right warrant and you go through the right due process. Metadata can also be used for different things, like creating your credit score, creating different kind of databases. There's a whole new business now, data brokers who draw upon, the thousands of data points and create client profiles to sell to companies. You don't really know what happens with those kind of things. So it's hard to tell what the implications are until it's too late, until it's happened.
Now, there are other types of surveillance happening that don't necessarily affect us in the same way that NSA mass surveillance does. For example, companies are collecting data on us all the time through every transaction online and using that to profile us for advertising. Now, to a lot of people that may seem much less harmful. And, for me personally, it is. But the fact that they're capturing that data means that that data exists, and we don't know who they might share it with.
Where there is so much data being generated, the incentives are aligned to try to use that data. You can try to go head to head with entities that are very difficult to control anyway, or you can modify your behaviors and make other choices about what technology you use, how you interact with technology.
I don't think that technology per se is the problem. It's more about looking at what is done with it. You wouldn't talk about a pen and just talk about the pen if it's used to write some brilliant, empowering article, or the other extreme, used to kill someone. Can be done, but the argument wouldn't be about the pen.